Week 9 SFL action continues tonight as the Arizona Scorpions host the Lone Star Glory. Welcome to Fatality Field here in Phoenix, Arizona. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs, and alongside me in the booth is the Hall of Famer Matt Wilson. With us on stats, the notorious Gerald Smith. Our producer is Cameron Irvine. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Twitch. Matt, how you doing tonight?
I'm just peachy, Mike. How are you doing?
Well, I'm good. You sound so excited. Matt, after week 5, both of these teams were sitting at 2 and 3, trying to figure out what they needed to do in order to make sure that their teams could get more wins and stay in the fight for the playoff spot down the road. Since that time, these teams have won a combined 5 out of their last 6 games, bringing the Lone Star Glory to 4 and 4 and the Arizona Scorpions to 5 and 3. For Lone Star, they're in second place of the South Division behind Mexico City, and they need to win to guarantee that they stay ahead Houston, who won yesterday. For Arizona, they're up on top of the West Division after winning 3 in a row. But Las Vegas will be keeping it interesting down the stretch as they're not that far behind at 4 and 5 after their win over Sioux Falls. Both of these teams looking for the win. What are the keys to victory for each one of them tonight?
Well, Lone Star had a very balanced attack in Week 8 against a tough LA Lightning team. Ace Fennick had 3 touchdowns and only 1 interception, while Ike McBride had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. They need to keep this balanced attack against Arizona. Number 2 in points allowed, Arizona only surrendered 7 points versus an explosive Vancouver offense last week. Will it be the Lone Star offense or the Scorpion defense? Mike, there's only one way to find out, and that's on the field.
All right, Matt. Well, let's get down to the field, get this one started. Cliff Allen is getting the ball teed up for the Arizona Scorpions. They will kick to get this game started here tonight. Lone Star will get their opening possession on offense. And we are underway here in Phoenix. Kick return taken back at the goal line, returned up to about the 25-yard line, and that is where Ace Fennick will lead his offense out onto the field. Ace Fennick is the quarterback. Ike McBride, she is the running back. Pseudo Nakai, former halfback, now fullback. The wide receivers, Greg Soto, Deuce Fennick, and Dave Axis. Tight ends, Adam Williams and Ziggy Hronik. Rylan Caudill is a guard to keep your eye on the offensive line, number 75. Fennick hands the ball off to McBride.
Oh.
McBride, she bursts forward for a gain of 6 on the opening play.
Yeah, McBride, that's what she does. North-south, lowers the shoulder, makes people die. 6-yard gain, great start for Lone Star.
Split backs in the backfield on second down. Fennick will hand the ball off once again to McBride. Gets another 3 yards and sets up a 3rd down and 1. The defense for the Arizona Scorpions, D.D. Sachs, Mark Mello, Alex Constantine, and Max Knight are the defensive linemen. Linebackers, Joey Tropicana and Sean Moore. The corners, Iverson Gamble, Parker Thomas, Everett Garrison. And the safeties, Bernard Smith IV. And, of course, Eddie Gage, 2 scoops on 3rd down. Ike McBride is able to burst forward for a nice gain up to the 44-yard line, and that will give them a 1st down.
Oh, McBride all the time. Like 3 carries to McBride. I say, why stop now?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No.
Although at some point she'll get a little tired, Matt.
Oh, you got Pseudo Nakai. He was a pretty good runner in his day.
Both of them in the backfield on this 1st down. Fennick, his first pass of the ball game, goes over the middle and incomplete. Well defended. Swatted down to the turf. Incomplete.
Yeah, a lot of traffic in the area, and Garrison making a nice play. 2nd and 10. Now let's see if Lone Star keeps it on the ground or decides to go back to the air.
2 wide receivers set here on 2nd down. 2 tight ends in the formation. Fennick will throw. Pressure coming. Out route up to the top, and that one is complete. Greg Soto with the catch up to the Arizona 44-yard line. 1st down.
Great throw by Fennick to Soto. Lone Star running the high percentage offense. Runs, short passes. And so far, we've got Arizona on their heels. And remember, last week, this defense only surrendered 7 points against Vancouver. So we'll see if they can stiffen up here.
Soto, the leading receiver last week in their win over Los Angeles. 7 receptions, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Going to be looking for another performance like that today. Fenech over the middle. Hits his target, and that one is good for a short gain. Ace Fenech to Deuce Fenech. Good for 3.
Yeah, with Caudil in there leading this O-line, fairly stout, it's going to be tough to get pressure on Fenech. So either Arizona's going to have to cover really well, or they're going to have to get exotic on defense.
4 wide receiver set on 2nd down and 7. Fenech in the gun. Out route up to the top. Has a wide open target. No yards after the catch, but good for a gain of about 3 on that one. Brings up a 3rd down and 4.
And Mr. Receiver running the in route, open for a little more yardage, but still a nice safe play. 3rd and 4, though, kind of no man's land. I think you got to run your short passing game here, maybe trips to the bottom. We're going to see 2 backs. Are they going to flare out, or are they going to stay into protection for Fenech? We'll see.
Ross McGinnis, the receiver on that last catch. Fenech on 3rd and 4. Pressure coming. He's got to get rid of the pass, and he's not going to. Sacked back at the 39-yard line. Brought down in the backfield by D.D. Sachs.
Very appropriate name, Mike.
Absolutely. D.D. Sachs with the sack. He had a sack last week, Matt. 3.5 on the season, now 4.5 after getting a sack right there.
The backs kind of flared out, but not enough for
Punt nearly blocked. This one's going to bounce down at the 2 and into the end zone. That will be a touchback. So Ashley Jackson's going to get her first shot on offense here tonight. Ashley Jackson, the 6th-season quarterback, 4 seasons with the Arizona Scorpions. The halfback, DJ Moses II. Matt, the receivers, Donnie Hands and James Hands. We saw quite a bit of them the last time we called a Arizona game. TJ Punk also at wide receiver now, former tight end. The current tight end, Will Todd. The tackles, Sean Crooked and EJ DeQ. Bookends on this offensive line. Jackson will pass on the first offensive play for Arizona. And that one's going the wrong way. Nate Hall with the pick, and he brings it back to the 14, getting it right back for the glory.
Yeah, big-time momentum shift early in the game. Nate Hall. Looks like Jackson had time to read a book there. Going to Hands and just steps right in front. Kind of played in between Hands and Punk and read the quarterback beautifully. And now Lone Star is in great position here to at least get 3, if not more.
Nate Hall's 2nd career interception. And sets his offense up with a 1st down and Ace 10 from the 14.
Ace better be careful here.
Ace looking, pump fakes, fires over the middle into traffic and incomplete. Trying to hit McGinnis for another catch, but Parker Thomas in on the coverage. Pass is incomplete.
Yeah, the old all slants, and Eddie Gage rung our bell a few times or two with the all slants. So one of the most prepared defensive coordinators in this league. Got to throw a wrinkle or 2 in there if you're going up against Arizona, because they'll be ready for your base stuff.
2nd down and 10 for the glory. 2 backs in the backfield once again. Fenech to throw. Fenech complete. Fenech towards the end zone. 1st and goal from the 1. Adam Williams with the catch. Hashtag throw it to the tight end.
Yeah, well, how do you beat press man coverage, Mike? They can't press the tight end at the line. He releases wide open middle of the field and almost gets the touchdown, but now you're knocking on the doorstep with a battering ram of Ike McBride with Suter Nakai. I think there's only one way to go when you got 2 tight ends. Just line them up, give it to McBride, see what happens.
McBride on the left, Nakai on the right. Fenech under center. Fenech, McBride trying to bounce to the outside. Touchdown, glory.
Oh, man, I thought McBride made a mistake. Just hit the hole as hard as you can. She just bounced off that defender and said, nope, I'm going to go my own way. Thank you very much. See, she bounced it outside and then, number 39 there, Iverson Gamble. Well, he took a tumble to the ground, and but in the end, it all works out. Lone Star scores 6, pending 7, and they pretty much ran their offense exactly how they should have at that situation.
Lone Star on a 2-game winning streak. Arizona on a 3-game winning streak. A good second half of the season so far for both of these teams. In week 9, Matt, looking at the playoff picture, it's starting to take some shape, and teams that are sitting here with records somewhat in the middle of the road, desperate to get these wins throughout the rest of the season to make sure they secure that playoff spot. Lone Star at 4-4. They'd love to come out of this one at 5-4, especially being on the road against the currently 5-3 Scorpions.
Yeah, you know how I beat the drum about points off turnovers, Mike? Well, there was 7 big ones right there. Ashley Jackson has to be much more careful.
Hugh Purvis kicks this one off and returned back up to the 30-yard line by my former teammate and yours, TJ Punk. Sets up Arizona 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. So 0 for 1 and a pick. Ashley Jackson's stats right now, obviously, we'll turn that around throughout the game, but just got to shake that off and get back to action. Jackson. Second offensive snap now for the Scorpions tonight. 2 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. Jackson. Throw deep over the middle, and she's got her target. Donnie Hands, a huge gain down to the Lone Star 33.
Oh, Lordy, Mike. She loaded up, and I go, uh-oh, here we go again. But that's why you got the Big Hands brothers, right? They tower over any defensive back in the league. And look at this throw, right on the money, and Hands. And look at that guy. If Hands was 6 foot, Mike, that's a pick.
Albert begin with the touchdown-saving tackle. If he had missed, that would have been a great way to. This was a great way to respond for Arizona either way. But getting 6 out of that one pass. I mean, Ashley throws a pick on her first play. Second play, winds up and goes deep down the middle. Going to throw again. This one a much safer out route to TJ Punk out to the left. Gets 9.9. Sets up a 2nd down and inches.
Look, I'm like the tight end he was, Mike. It's more of kind of a tight end shorter route, but makes the most of it. Sets up. I wonder how much DJ Moses we're going to see in this game. So far, he's kind of been, the milk carton man, but hopefully he gets a try or 2 here.
Freddie Trammell on the tackle.
Have you seen this running back? Wait, there he is.
His gain of 9 on the play. And there's Moses. Moses spinning and running past the 20-yard line, gets the 1st down, sets up the Scorpions 1st and 10 in the red zone from the 16-yard line. The defensive line for Lone Star, Jukin Rukin, Yogi Barr, Bobo Caudill, and Tina Begin. The linebackers, Freddie Trammell and Jay Mart. The corners, Mickey McGuire and Bo Martin Jr. 3 safeties, Matt Evan Lacey, Albert Begin, and you already saw Nate Hall.
Yeah, he hauled in one.
Pick. He hauled in one. First season with Lone Star for both Albert and Nate, coming over from Queen City and Vancouver, respectively, helping the Lone Star get things done. Jackson.
Dump it off, Ash. Oh, no.
Towards the end zone. Touchdown, Scorpions. Roscoe Justice with the catch.
Up. Arizona strikes back with a little justice of their own, and again, Ashley wound up, and I did not like the trajectory of that ball, but man, she's smarter than me. Wide open. Big plays in this Arizona offense.
Big plays resulting in a 4-play, 68-yard touchdown drive after that 16-yard touchdown toss to Roscoe Justice met. Arizona's opening possession 0 for 1 and a pick. Their second possession 3 of 3 for 61 yards and a touchdown. That's how you change that script. Cliff Allen, extra point is up and good. Flip the script, change the script. Matt, you can do whatever you want with the script. They got 6. They tied this game back up.
Yep, and now up back to Lone Star, and it's going to be interesting to see this offense now having to move. Well, we already did see it move pretty well with Ike McBride. They just were short and had to punt the last time, so we'll see if Arizona's made any adjustments or if we're going to see some more bodies hit the floor. or the turf.
Either way. Kick return. Nice one is all the way up to the 34-yard line. Deuce Fennick, the return man for the Glory.
We might see another kick return for a touchdown. We've seen a few of those in our games this season.
We have. In fact, we even saw TJ Punk the last time we called an Arizona game for the Scorpions, brought one back to the house. So wouldn't be surprised at all to see another one tonight. So Lone Star, 9 plays, 36 yards. They punted the first possession, 3 plays, 14 yards after that turnover. They got a touchdown on possession number 2. Possession number 3, they start off going deep. And that one's almost picked off. Should have probably been taken away. Garrison with his hands on the ball. Second out.
We got a bunch of riverboat gamblers calling these pass plays, Mike. I'm used to, I guess, in the old Mexico City offense, just chucking it down 4 or 5 yards at a time. But sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it bites you in the butt. We'll see if Lone Star gets a little bit more. Now, here we go. Press man. See if they go to the tight end again.
Fennick under center. Going to go to the out route up to the top. Heading Deuce Fennick. Good for a gain of 8. Sets up a third down and much more manageable, too.
Yeah, good job by Deuce getting open there. 3rd and 2. I think you're prime for McBride run. Could fool me, but we'll see what personnel they come up with. Yep, they fooled me.
Everett Garrison almost had an interception a couple snaps ago. Ace Fennick in the gun. Out route down to the bottom. Nice, easy pitch and catch. This time he connects up with Dave Axis, his first catch of the ball game. Good for a first down.
Good find. He'll do this a lot. He'll play a little bump man, challenger receivers to get open, and did a good job at the top of the screen, but at the bottom of the screen, got open, did Axis, and man, so much shotgun. This is like a totally different offense from the first series.
4 wide receiver set now on first down and 10. Ace going deep down the left-hand side. This time he's got his target. It's Greg Soto to the 10-5 touchdown Lone Star.
Woof. Teams are off to the races, Mike.
Absolutely. Looks like it might be a bit of an air raid here tonight, Matt.
Post corner route, and Arizona wasn't ready, and goodbye, good night, good day. So now Arizona is going to have to respond to that beauty of a drive by Lone Star.
53-yard touchdown reception by Greg Soto. Matt, he's already got 65 yards and a touchdown today. He's already over halfway to last week's nice result of 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. His long last week, 38, so he just blew that one out of the water, putting 6 more points up for the road team. Extra point is up, and it is good. 14-7 here in Phoenix. If you are new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, you can visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy.
So, in the first quarter, Lone Stars scored 200% more points than Arizona's last opponent. All game. Whoa!
DJ Punk gets this one up to the 31-yard line, and it was a little bit of a surprising result. Last week, Arizona certainly was going to be able to compete against Vancouver, but Vancouver known for putting up points. Like that's kind of their MO is, they put up a lot of points, and if you're going to beat them, you got to put up a lot of points too. Arizona put 19 on the board, and it was more than enough to win. Holding, like you said, Matt, holding the Vancouver Legion to only 7. Very dingy defense last week. Jackson on the first play tosses this one out of bounds, trying to connect with James' hands. And one's going to be incomplete.
So I noticed one thing for the Lone Star defense is Arizona came out with multiple tight end look. Usually that'll get if there's a 4-3 defense in the playbook, it'll get they'll call it. But it looks like Lone Star's coaching staff is sticking with the default nickel. Now that's made to be run against. So let's see if they can get DJ Moses involved.
Jackson will get Moses involved through the swing route. Moses spins up to the 39-yard line, gains 8 on the play, sets up a 3rd down and 2.
I just love to see him give it to Moses up the middle. If they're not going to put that third linebacker out there, a guy like Moses could really get going. But perhaps for another down. more nickel fun to be had.
Matt's favorite formation in football, though. 3 receivers, a tight end, and a running back.
All your options are there.
Jackson looking to throw. Short pass over the middle. Nice and easy pitch and catch. Hashtag throw to the tight end on the Scorpions as well. Will Todd getting his first catch of the ball game. Moves the chains.
Yeah, need a first down. Just tosses to the tight end. Again, they can't press him. Gets the first down on the in route. And actually, Jackson, besides the one pick, has looked really good. Here we go again. This would be, they're trying to exploit a 4-3 look, and Lone Star isn't giving it to him.
Jackson deep over the middle, and that one's intercepted, picked off by Evan Lacey, and it's going back the other way. Flag on the return. We'll have to see what that one is. But that flag came out. Yeah, 2 flags. Yeah, well, both flags came out after the pick, though.
Oh.
I think it's a block in the back. And the Scorpions will accept that penalty, so the pick will stand.
Albert Brigin got a little excited. He's not used to blocking. But Ashley throwing another pick, and Lone Star's got to be licking their chops here. If Arizona hasn't prepared for the corner route, here we go, back to the ground. So we're going to see the other half of the playbook right now.
Second pick on the season for Evan Lacey. Ike McBride, she's going to try to capitalize right here. Gets a first down. Rumbling forward up to the 42.
Ike lowered her head. I thought she might blow that guy up and just run all the way to the end zone. Nice tackle. But again, look at the blocking, Mike. She hurdles over a guy. Great block there, and then nice tackle there by one of the Scorpion secondary. It's tough to bring down a back like Ike McBride. She's quite a load.
6'2", 240-pound Ike McBride.
That's a lot.
A lot of running back. 2 backs in the backfield. Fenix handing it off to Ike. Looks like got some wheels there, Matt. Gets up past midfield into Arizona territory. 44 yards now on her 6 carries.
Ike looks like she has a little pep in her step on that one, Mike. Not known for being the most blazing speed back, but could have fooled me on that one. There's more of Eddie's patented press man. Let's see if it works out better for him this time.
Fennick. Pressure coming. Down he goes. Sacked back at the 50-yard line.
That's what it does, Mike. If a receiver doesn't get it open right away, the rush is going to come. There's Dede Sachs again.
Yep.
Holding that ball a little too long. He got no safety valve, and Ace bit the dust. Interesting formation on 2nd and 17. Are they going to run out of this?
1 minute to go in quarter number 1. They will pass, but they're going to get it out to Ike McBride. Lowering the shoulder. Oh, man. Knocking Iverson Gamble right down. And that brings it back to about the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 11.
Well, not bad getting it close to the original line of scrimmage. It's much, much more makeable now. We'll see what the 2 teams decide to throw out there. 1 deep safety.
Fennick.
Throws
it well short of the line to gain. Adam Williams with the catch, but that will not be enough. And Matt, from the 40-yard line, they'll likely have to punt this one away.
That's the second time where Lone Star has gotten really close to field goal range, but has had to settle for punt. So the Arizona defense bending but not breaking. I mean, can you imagine Lone Star could be up another 6 points?
Final seconds of the first quarter ticking away. They will get the punt off. Trying to pin them deep. This one will bounce at the 5 and rolls into the end zone for the touchback. So the Scorpions will take back over on offense to start the second quarter from their own 20-yard line. We'll see what they do here on the other side. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Twitch. And welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona for the start of quarter number 2. I'm Mike Daggs in the booth with Matt Wilson. Gerald Smith with us on stats. Cameron Irvine, our producer. Ashley Jackson under center hands the ball off to Moses. Moses breaks through a couple of tackles. Breaks through another. Crossing midfield. Kennedy stopped. Only Mickey McGuire has a chance, but he's not going to get there. Touchdown, Scorpions. That's how you start a quarter.
Oh, Mike, did you see that brilliant stop and go from Moses? Just throws the defense and then turns on the afterburners and see you later. Hasta la vista. Woo!
One
look
play,
at this. Look at
80
this.
yards to the house.
Right here.
So many broken tackles.
That was just an amazing play by Moses and just gives his team, well, ties it back up. It's a 0-0 ball game.
Yogi Barr. Matt Yogi Barr was in the picture there trying to chase down Moses. Yogi Barr, 6'6", 295-pound defensive end. He was close. He was there. But Moses
he was jogging.
He tried his best. The Scorpions looking to tie this one back up with a Cliff Allen extra point. It's up, and it is good. And just like that, we're knotted back up.
That's what I'm saying. If Lone Star is not going to put that linebacker in there, Mike, you got to run against it. And look what happened. Big play.
Moses last week against Vancouver, 25 carries for 100 yards and no touchdowns. So far, 87 yards and a touchdown in this one. And Maddie's only ran the ball twice.
I'd give it to him again, maybe, Yeah,
maybe another 2-3 times. Why not? Deuce Fennick brings this one up to the 21-yard line. Matt, over in Los Angeles, 17-14. The Portland out in front in quarter number 3 over the Lycans.
Excuse me, did you say the Portland?
The Portland Fleet over the Los Angeles Lycans. Yeah, 17-14 now.
Yeah, the Fleet. I'm telling you, they're surprising me this year.
Started off with 14 points for the Lycans and then 17 unanswered. Get Portland out in front. A run for a gain of 3 here on first down. We'll set up a second down and 7. 47 yards now for McBride.
And that kind of play takes Lone Star a little bit of the wind out of their sails, but they have to respond. Both teams have been responding a lot lately. Although, again, Lone Star just out of field goal range twice.
Fennick fires over the middle and has his target. That one's good all the way up to the 48-yard line. Dave Axis getting involved with catch number 2.
Whew. Lots of fireworks in this game, Mike.
Yeah, a lot of big passes.
Axis running the post route, then reaching to grab that ball. Nice job by Axis. And now Lone Star is rolling.
Back and forth we go. First down and 10 from the 48. Fennick out route down to the bottom. That one is complete. Adam Williams with the catch.
Yeah, Mike, they They saw how good you run that, and they're like, "Yep, that works for me. We got a good tight end too."
Adam
It's always a
Williams with
mismatch
only
when you got a big tight end at the bottom of the screen.
yeah.
Right to the top. It's just if that tight end is any kind of route runner, he's gonna have a big edge over a corner.
Williams with only 2 catches, 26 yards last week in their wins, got 3 for 21 in this one, just at the beginning of quarter number 2. Fennick has time, gets this one down to McBride, but that one's only going to be good for a short gain of 2, sets up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, I don't hate it though. Down the field was covered, so you got to kind of take what you can get. It's not 3rd down yet. Now it is. So Arizona's playing press man. You got to have something you can dump down to quick, like a tight end. Yeah. Here we go. Let's look out for Adam Williams here.
Fennick down the left side into coverage and incomplete. Wow, I thought he might have even gotten there a little early, Matt. Bernard Smith leveling out Dave Axis, and I don't know.
Yeah, that looked close, but what Ref 62 doesn't call, it doesn't happen. So Lone Star's got a punt again. Again, a really good field position, Mike. Again in Arizona territory, not scoring. This is their 3rd time, so that might bite them.
Punt is away. Fair catch called for back at the 13-yard line, and Ashley Jackson will lead the offense back out onto the field. Scored on their last possession after a super long one-play drive. It was a short drive, but a super long run, 80 yards for DJ Moses.
Super explosive run by Moses, just showing every move in the book.
Moses. Back-to-back carries. He's off to the races again. Can he repeat? It's going to be even longer if he can beat the defender. He can. 10, 5, woo! Touchdown. Lightning has struck twice.
I don't know what to say, Mike.
My goodness. Matt, you have. How do you follow up an 80-yard touchdown rush with an 87-yard touchdown rush? That's how. Back-to-back drives, one play to DJ Moses. And Matt, you mentioned it earlier about the defensive look and how Arizona could exploit it. And look at that. They've done it twice. Arizona takes the lead.
I mean, I was thinking up the middle. They ran off tackle, but they had a lot of blockers in front of Moses. And how about that vision of Moses just to weave in and out? So smooth, so much speed. And I mean, that's a game changer right there. That's 14 points on just Moses runs.
Absolutely.
One play.
Sean Crooked and EJ DeQ, the tackles, helping to spring Moses on those runs with their blocking prowess. Extra point is up and good from Cliff Allen. 21-14 now. The Scorpions out in front. And Matt, that's tough on the Lone Star Glory defense, to allow those two types of runs. But it's actually also going to be a little bit tough for the Scorpions defense as they've got to go right back out on the field now after a very short break.
I'm sure they're excited, though. It always feels good getting back on the field when your team scores 7, then a turnover or something. So I'm sure they're charged up, ready to go, ready to try to get the ball back for their offense. But Lone Star's got to respond. Oh, now
they do. Deuce Fennick up to the 22-yard line. Gerald Smith letting us know Matt Moses currently averaging 58 yards per carry. Not too bad.
Maybe you should tell his coach to bench him now and set the record. That's the record for
Coach, I want the record in yards per carry. I'll just go ahead and set those out. Matt, I don't think that's going to happen. Three rushes, 174 yards and 2 touchdowns. All right, let's see what the Glory can do on offense. Fennick back to throw. Fires over the middle into quadruple coverage. Oh, my goodness. Arizona almost got that one back. Eddie Two Scoops Gage getting in on that one.
Yeah, Arizona's defense starting to step up a little bit, and Lone Star can't let this one slip away. They started out so great by letting McBride just pound the ball, and they've kind of gone away from that. Hey, look. Maybe Lone Star is going to dial up an Arizona special. Similar defense. Let's see what Ike can do.
Absolutely. And
I was fooled.
Fennec's going to get it into the hands of McBride, and the Scorpion defense rallies. Tackles McBride after a gain of only 3. You see a quarterback comparison.
You look at that, you're like, well, Lone Star must be doing great. But, yeah, they're not showing the halfback comparison, although Ike not having a bad game. But now we're going to have all the receivers on the field. And a tight end.
Fennec to throw. Quick pass over the middle. This one will be enough to move the chains, getting his head taken off. Ross McGinnis on the catch. Eddie Gage on the tackle. And Matt, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plays in a row where we have not seen a rush from McBride.
I think that's a mistake.
Fennec will hand it off to McBride here. McBride trying to bounce it out to the right and gains 4. And see, that's a good start to the, that particular, series of downs. Get 4. It's the 2nd down and 6, and now your options are wide open.
And Arizona's light in the linebacking department with only 2 highly paid linebackers, so you think you'd want to attack up the middle. They're more made to, for the pass defense. Playing kind of right into their wheelhouse.
Steps up right into the pocket and sacked. Brought down back at the original line of scrimmage. 34-yard line. Dede Sachs with a hat trick.
Whew. The sack man's on fire. He comes off the edge. And Fennec tried to get the ball out. But again, Mike, you're playing into the strength of the Arizona defense. Their defensive line is solid, but like I say, only 2 linebackers and 3 corners and 2 safeties. So you'd think you'd want to run the ball. But here we go again. Let's see if Ace can dial up a big one.
Ace out the top won't be enough. Connecting with Deuce Fennec. And they are still at their own 37-yard line. They will need to trot William Zuderveld back out onto the field to punt once again for the Lone Star Glory.
If I'm Lone Star, the next time I get the ball, get McBride, get the fullback, pound that ball up the middle a couple of times. It worked the first drive, and it's kind of vanished. When they hit that deep pass, they just kind of got pass happy after that. That deep post corner for a touchdown. It's flipped the script, and they need to go back to what was working.
EJ Punk with the fair catch back at the 32-yard line. Ashley Jackson and the Scorpions. Matt, they're in control now, and back to the ground they go. So, if Moses takes this one to the house, it'll be his 3rd longest rush of the day, all the way from the 32. See what he can do. Moses up the middle.
Oh!
Well, he got the first down, man, but I thought he was about to do it again. I was gonna lose it.
A little bottle rocket, Mike, just shot out of a missile right here.
My goodness, he just severely hurt his average, though.
Yeah, 10 yards, poor guy.
Average all the way down to 46.3 yards per carry now.
But if you look at Lone Star, it's kind of the exact situation. Their strength is again, they're carrying an extra strong safety as a starter, but not an extra linebacker, more of a bench linebacker. So again, kind of want to attack them similar ways.
Jackson up to the top, nearly taken away right into the hands of Bo Martin Jr. And Bo almost had that pick, but it falls harmlessly to the turf. 2nd down and 10. Matt, you mentioned how Lone Star started off on offense. 3 straight rushes, 6 yards, 3 yards, 10 yards. They were moving the chains.
Mm-hmm.
And since that time, they've only ran the ball about 5 times. And that's out of, about 60 different snaps, on offense and defense combined.
Look how far Lone Star's playing off. Hit something quick.
Ashley going deep over the middle. Has her target, but incomplete.
Oh,
Into the hands of James Hands in a rare pass breakup once you get it into his big hands. But Albert Begin there on the coverage.
I don't know why Begin's pointing at the scoreboard. You're losing, but maybe he's pointing at a stat line. I don't know.
It could be. Juke and Rook and the big fella filling your screen. Looking to provide some pressure on Jackson on this 3rd down and 10. Can the defense get it done? Jackson Going over the middle. Tipped
Oh.
and incomplete. And Albert Begin back-to-back plays. Is able to help out the team, and that's going to bring Brian Clouds out to punt for the Scorpions.
Telling you, strangely enough, Mike, both teams, when they've let their running backs touch the ball multiple times in a possession, it's been led to good things. But again, Moses got 10 yards and then never to be seen again.
Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for information on how to create a player, to join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. And a comprehensive history of the SFL. It's over 1,500 games, and it's thousands of players who have hit the virtual gridiron. Simulation Football League is 17 seasons strong. Deuce Fennick returns it up to the 29-yard line.
One more.
That is where Ace Fennick... Huh?
One more season, and the SFL can legally vote.
We're almost there, Matt. Lone Star, 7 plays, 14 yards, and a punt on their last possession.
Here we go again. Press man.
Punted 3 straight possessions in a row. See if they can do something different on this one.
Yep.
And Ike McBride just surging forward, Matt, trying to get something going here for the Lone Star offense.
46 yards a carry. I'm sorry. It's just funny to see.
It is, yeah. That they call that the halfback comparison, but it's really not a comparison when it's that disparagingly different. But no fault of Ike McBride. She's having a good game herself.
She just needs carries. She's more of a...
My goodness.
She's a thumper.
DJ Moses, DJ Moses just unbelievable runs adding to those totals. Jackson over the middle. Not Jackson, Fennick. Over the middle to Ziggy Hronik. Hronik with his first catch of the day.
Yeah, Ace just... little pressure coming up the middle, but finds an open receiver. And again, Lone Star has kind of been that magic 40-yard line. Like, it's kind of been a great barrier, you know what I mean, that the Lone Star hasn't been able to cross in a while. So get back to the ground again. Stock nickel defense. McBride right up the gut.
I formation here on first down. Fennick will get it to McBride on the outside. McBride stiff-arming the defender into the turf. Gains 5 after throwing Iverson Gamble down to the ground. Second down and 5.
It's not a bad play, but I still think they're missing a golden opportunity. I just see lots and lots of room for McBride to get to the second level, and once that happens, people's heads might explode.
ED Sacks with 2.5 sacks on the day. I guess one of those sacks was shared, Matt, so not quite the hat trick. He's almost there.
Now sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. McBride trying to bounce to the outside and wrapped up and tackled. Sets up third down and 3.
Not the kind of run I'd dial up, but 3rd and 3. Now what does Lone Star do? I have a feeling they're going to be in the gun. They've kind of done that. Not in the gun, but in more of a passing formation for sure.
Ace Fennick will throw on third down. Deep drop, going deep over the middle and into the hands of the defender. Incomplete. Eddie Gage almost had the pick, but it'll fall to the turf. And, Matt, this one's going to be a little out of Hugh Purvis's kicking range. This one would have been from about 50-yard lines, and, Purvis just does not have that kind of leg. So from the Arizona 33, believe it or not, they're going to need a punt.
And that's, you don't pay a kicker the big bucks, Mike, and that's the kind of the pain in the butt about it, right? You could have had probably 3 points here. Get your team within 1. Now you got to punt it. Let's see how good this punt is. Yeah, not the best.
Fair catch back at the 13-yard line, and that only moved the ball 20 yards. So not a good end result to that drive, but it's going to get the ball back into the hands of the Scorpion offense, and they're going to look to try to make this a 2-score ball game. 3 minutes, 51 seconds to go in half number 1. Jackson getting it out to Moses. Moses sidestepping the defender, spinning past the second, and then the rest of the Lone Star defense getting there. Brings him down after a gain of 5.
Man, his quick feet, Mike. I don't say that too often. You get the burners like BDG, but this guy's got amazing footwork. It's a 5-yard gain, but he changed directions a couple different times.
3 receivers, tight end, and a running back here on second down. Jackson throws over the middle. TJ Punk with the catch. First down up to the 28.
Arizona's in good shape here. If they can string one or two first downs here, they're going to drain clock and, have a shot to score. I mean, they got a long way to go, but they're in a good position.
Well, I would even argue to say that they're in a great position, Matt. If they're able to take up the rest of the first half and score, they also get the ball back to start the second half.
Oh!
Going for big yards here. James Hands getting in on the action. A big catch up to the 49.
I think Hands spun around that first tackle, Mike. He almost broke away. Let's see, clean pocket. And then look at this. Look at him. He spun out of that tackle. Good thing there was another guy there. He could have been taking it to the house. But now look at the time. Again, great time. You can run whatever you want. I'd say run Moses again for the 2-minute warning. And, I think they're going to take my advice.
Offset I formation. Jackson under center. Moses takes the handoff. Good blocks out on the right-hand side. And Moses is able to get up to the 40-yard line, moves the chains, and keeps the clock rolling.
Off-tackle runs are great, Mike. You paid DeQ and Crooked for their blocking. And, again, just look at the quick feet of Moses, just able to, move left to right in a hurry, find that hole, and there's the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes to go here in the first half of what's been a pretty exciting game so far. We'll see what happens in the rest of the first half on the other side of the break. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Twitch. Two minutes here in quarter number 2. 40 yards from the goal line. Jackson to throw into traffic. That is complete to James Hands. Good for a gain of 6. And Matt, they're not going to be in any particular hurry here. They're in good field position.
Now you got all your timeouts. You're almost an Allen field goal range. You can run the ball if you want to. Looks like they're going to stay in the gun. And again, we'll see how this nickel goes against this multiple tight end shotgun look.
James Hands in the slot. Jackson firing deep over the middle. And it's into the end zone. Touchdown, Will Todd.
Well, throw it to the tight end, right, Mike?
That's what you got to do, Matt. 34 yards into the end zone. Will Todd, his second catch of the ball game, and it's a big one.
Will Todd kind of runs a streak, turns it into a post, and nobody was home. And, Arizona's flipped this game on its head in a hurry. There is 1:24 to go, though.
Will Todd's second touchdown of the season.
So far, Arizona's looked like a very dangerous team, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. High snap, corralled in. Cliff Allen's extra point is up and good. 28-14, now out in front. And I think that was one of the frustrations that some of the players, coaches, staff of the Arizona Scorpions felt earlier on in the season is, they knew that they were better than 2 and 3. They came out of the season, looking really strong. They had a win over the Florida Storm, win over the Fort Worth Toros. They were 2-0. Then week 3 hit. They lost to Queen City, lost to Denver, lost to San Diego. They lost to San Diego, Matt. San Diego's 1-7 coming into this week, and they were able to win their game yesterday. So 2 wins.
Wait, was that San Diego's first ever win?
That was their first franchise win. So the frustration had to be setting in, and then they hosted Sioux Falls at home, and they beat them. Then they went on the road to Los Angeles, and they beat them. They went on the road to Vancouver, and they beat them. And now here they are back at home, 28-14, out in front over the Glory. Fenwick over the middle has his target, and they're going to go into the hurry-up up at the 32-yard line.
Lone Star has all their timeouts. They just need to hurry it up a little bit.
Fenwick, another quick pass over the middle. They're going to go with the quick short passing game, and it's working here right now. Pass from Fenwick to Fenwick. 53 seconds to go, clock rolling. And Ace needs to hurry up and snap this ball. He's letting way too much time tick off the clock. Another short pass over the middle. That one is complete to Adam Williams, and they will call their first timeout and regroup.
Time to get the gun out. You got to work for a little bit, but you got to dial up something a little deeper than that, or at least something to the sideline.
Second down and 2 in Arizona territory. So get a look at Eddie Gage.
Not the formation I was thinking. We'll see if it pays off for him.
2 receivers, 2 tight ends, and a running back. Fenwick under center. 4 down linemen for the Scorpions. They're going to hand it off to McBride. And a bit of a surprise, but it's going to pay off. I thought she was going to break through. First and 10 from the 33, Matt. I thought she was gone.
I was halfway saying bye-bye, and then, brought down.
Yeah, and now
timeout.
Tackled
Oh,
back
no.
to the line. Matt trying to call timeouts from the booth. For some reason, that's not working. 21 seconds to go. They're going to hand it off to McBride again. Now they've got to call a timeout. No, they're going to go back on 3rd down and 11. 15 seconds to go. Clock rolling.
Yeah, don't do it again. Oh, no.
3 consecutive tackles for a loss. And, Matt, they're going to have to call a timeout and go for a Hail Mary. They don't have the range on the kicker. And they're just going to let it. Nope, they're just going to let it go to the half. That was truly, absolutely bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen a first half end that way in all of my days. That was wonky. So, Matt, other than the ending of the first half, as we look at the team comparison, the stats, what are your thoughts on half number 1?
Well, I mean, it's been the DJ Moses show, honestly, Mike. Jackson's had some nice passes, but, I mean, that was not the best start. That led to a touchdown for Lone Star. Lone Star looked good before when they have running in right here again with McBride. They still need to get going more in this game. Again, the defense is asking for it right up the middle, but they're just not getting it. Jackson here with a nice deep ball, I believe, to Hands. Yep.
Yeah, nearly gone.
But I think we're going to see some electrifying runs. Not yet. Nice post corner route. And that post corner route, though, Mike, seemed to set Lone Star in the mindset like, we can throw on these guys. We don't need to run anymore. But that's a mistake. And Jackson throwing another pick.
Yeah, it was back and forth to get things started. So, Lone Star, 9 plays, 36 yards. They punted on their opening possession. There's one of those nice motions.
I love that.
That little stutter snap. That was beautiful. Arizona throwing a pick on their opening possession, giving the ball back to Lone Star, would let Lone Star get out in front early in the ballgame. 3 plays, 14 yards after a 1-yard touchdown rush. Arizona would respond with a 4-play, 68-yard drive with a touchdown pass. And Lone Star right back at it. 4 plays, 65 yards. They had a deep 53-yard touchdown pass of their own. Ashley Jackson threw another pick, but Lone Star would go 6 plays, 26 yards, and have to punt it away, and that's when the fireworks started for the Scorpions. 1 play, 80-yard rush, and then Lone Star would punt it back to him. Another 1 play, 87-yard rushing touchdown. Back-to-back 1-play drives. Huge touchdowns for the Scorpions. Lone Star and Arizona would exchange punts on the next 3 possessions, and then a 6-play, 87-yard drive resulting in that 34-yard touchdown pass. And then truly bizarre clock management, Matt. That was pretty wacky as we saw Ike McBride. She got a good run. Right here, look at this. I thought she's gone. All she's got to do is break this tackle.
There.
Yeah, Ever Garrison said, no, ma'am, I'm afraid you're going to have to sit down. And that's when just madness, chaos, madness, cats and dogs living together, chaos, mass hysteria. I don't know what on earth was going on there, but they don't have a kicker with a leg that can make it that far, but they had timeouts. They could have called one and at least taken a shot at the end zone. I mean, stats, if you get a pick, it is what it is. I mean, at least try to, put some points on the board. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, but I think Lone Star has left 9 points on the board, Mike, and that's not good.
Yeah, TJ Punk getting this one out to the 30-yard line, and that is where the Arizona Scorpions will start the first possession of half number 2.
Experimenting with something new from the broadcasting situation.
Ashley Jackson coming up to the line.
Oh.
First down and 10 from the 32-yard line. 3 receivers in the formation. She'll throw to get things started here. Starting right off where she left off. A nice deep pass over the middle. That one is complete to Donnie Hands. Ashley Jackson's first half stats. 10 of 16. About 150 yards. Couple of touchdowns. Also had a couple of picks that we talked about during the halftime break.
Still waiting to see that triangle of terror with Moses in the backfield. Haven't seen it in a little bit, but here we go again. Let's see what Moses can do here.
Moses with his first carry of the second half. Had almost 200 yards in the first half, Matt. Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, that's the weakness of Moses, is he's not going to break tackles for you like that. You need to get him in open space. They couldn't open up a hole for him on the line, and so nowhere to go.
Jackson back under center here on second down. Moses takes another carry, breaks through the defensive line and is able to gain 8, sets up a 3rd down and 2.
Kind of interesting here. They go, and again, just look at the ability of Moses to weave back and forth. It's a very unique quality. 3rd and 2. Are they going to go back to the ground, or are they going? Looks like the Hands brothers are split out wide, so they could do anything out of this formation. But part of me thinks they're going to pass.
And pass they will. Jackson pressure coming, gets the pass away, gets the first down in coverage. Albert Begin in tight coverage on Will Todd, but, TJ Punk, the former tight end. Hashtag throw it to the former tight end. Is that a thing? I don't think we have that one trending anywhere yet.
No.
Well, we should try. Short drop from Jackson, gets a quick pass out down to the bottom. Back-to-back plays to Punk. Gain of 3.
Yep, they're just slowly Arizona moving the ball. They got a 28-14 lead, so they don't have to take too many chances right now. They're in Lone Star territory, so even a field goal makes us a 3-possession game, which is plays right into this defense's hands for Arizona, that is.
Jackson in the gun down to the bottom. Connecting with James Hands. Moving the chains again. First down at the Lone Star 26. And, Matt, even a field goal is good. Cliff Allen, this is well within his range.
Yeah.
So first down and 10 now. Jackson.
Arizona's kicker has a slightly longer leg.
Jackson taking the high snap. Throwing it down to the bottom. Now we saw that a couple of times in the last Arizona game that we called. James Hands on like a deep curl and just curls too darn far and ends up losing some yards.
He's 6'5". It takes a long time for him to curl back.
6'6", Matt.
6'6", excuse me.
He's just an absolute giant.
There's tight ends on the field, disguised as receivers.
Moses takes a handoff up the middle and is able to scoot forward for a gain of 6, gaining that 1 yard lost plus 5. That's up a 3rd down and 5 now from the 20.
This looks like a running formation to Moses, but maybe they're going to disguise something with the 2 tight ends. Maybe go to one of them.
Tight end's bunched up down at the bottom. It will indeed be a pass. They're going to instead get it out to Moses. Moses spins, but well defended. Brought down after only a gain of 2. Once again, Albert Begin doing his thing, and it's going to bring Cliff Allen out for a field goal try. Cliff Allen 4 of 4 last week, Matt, as long as 39 yards. He's 18 of 20 on the season, so not too shabby.
I didn't like that play call. You're giving it to Moses with no blocking and saying, well, do what you can, buddy. It's could work, but I prefer some blockers, some lead blockers for him.
35 yards from the right hash is up, and it is good. Arizona extends their lead 31-14 here at home. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. You can get the gear that the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. Cliff Allen, hand in the air, and kicks this one away. Back to the Lone Star Glory. Deuce Fennick brings it straight up the gut to the 24-yard line. And that is where the Lone Star Glory will come back out on the field on offense. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, the Lycans back out in front, Matt, after allowing the Fleet to put up 17 unanswered points. They've just went ahead and put up 13 unanswered of their own. So 27-17 currently the score in that one. And Ike McBride getting things started here for the Glory. D.D. Sachs laying on the grass, taking a little break.
Again, counter to McBride, man. Power I. Just hit it up the middle with your fullback. That's the kind of runner she is. And Arizona was able to rally to the ball, and now they're going to see if they can pass this. And, again, good chance for Adam Williams to get a ball here.
Fennick, quick pass over the middle, right to who, Matt?
Adam Williams.
Adam Williams, right on cue.
Couldn't haul it in, and now it's 3rd and 8.
Oh, he dropped it.
Yeah.
Didn't even see that.
I almost had it right.
Almost.
But again, anytime you see press man, who's on the line, who's not, covered, your tight end.
Well, 4 receivers here on the field on 3rd down and 8. Up to the top. Oh, no, it's not going to be enough. Makes the catch, but only for a gain of 4. Greg Soto getting back in on the action. It's been quiet after his 53-yarder.
Man, I've never seen a running back like McBride have such a dominant first drive and then just kind of disappear from the offense and the way they were working it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because stats-wise, Matt, 15 carries, almost 80 yards. She's averaging over 5 yards a carry. Now, you sometimes you see an average of 5 yards a carry, and you think, well, that's going to be because of one long run. It's really not. Her long is 15 yards. So, I mean, she's averaging 5 yards a carry, darn near every carry. So, anyway, we'll see what happens when Lone Star gets the ball back. But for right now, Arizona out in front in this one, 31-14, and they are back out on the field on offense. So, second possession of half number 2, their first 10 plays, 49 yards. Had to settle for a field goal, but that field goal made it a 3-score ball game. Looking to add to it. Jackson gets it out to Moses. Moses spins.
Whoa!
Breaks through about 3 or 4 tackles and is able to gain 8. Matt, it looked like it was going to go for a loss, then maybe a gain of 1, then maybe a gain of 4, and, 8.
Yeah, just think, though, if Moses had any blocking whatsoever, what he could do. And he's just out there by himself, one man alone.
Betrayed by the blockers he loved.
Yes.
but he's still able to get it done.
I'd give it to Moses again, though.
Well, and they do. This time it doesn't look like it's going to work.
Hey, he's not dead yet. Oh.
I feel happy. But he doesn't get anything after running about 20 yards to the left and breaking through 5 tackles. Still no gain on the play.
Not a fan of that counter again, Mike. That's the play that they ran with McBride or similar. If you're going to do it, just hit it fast.
So 3rd down and 2. Do they go to Moses again? They do.
Yeah.
Moses takes a handoff,
Whoa.
and the defensive line gets right into the backfield. Jukin' Rukin, 320 pounds of run-stuffing force. 4th down.
That is a wide man. He might be tall, but he's darn wide.
Well, he was, our camera crew zoomed in on him earlier on in the ball game, and he filled the whole screen. The whole screen. Like, you couldn't see anything else. There was a Jukin, a Rukin, that was it.
You wonder why Old Country's out of business. That's I bring you Exhibit A.
Brian Clouds punts this one away. Fair catch called by Deuce Fennick back at the 20. So Ace Fennick and Ike McBride coming back out onto the field. Will we see some more carries? I mean, Ike's having a great game. Fennick, he's having a good game too, man. I mean, 21 to 28, over 200 yards, 75% completion percentage, has a touchdown pass. They got to get some points on the board. And let's start with this run here. Ike McBride stiff-arming the defender into the ground. Says, get out of the way, Tropicana. Gained 7 on the first carry.
Again, that counter, not my favorite. They got 7 out of it, but man, you got Suter and Nakai. Just line them up.
Pseudo quiet.
There we go.
Game, no carries. Fennick hands it off to McBride. Pseudo Nakai, a nice block out in front, and that's going to be enough to spring McBride for the first down.
Not as much as on the counter, but McBride looked like she was a little tired there. Still, first down, and should have been doing this maybe a little earlier, but still got time. They're going to give it to McBride again. I'm a little bit worried about how much gas she has in the tank. They might want to give it to Nakai for a play. Nope.
Well, they're going to go back to McBride again. McBride's going to surge forward for a gain of 5. Visit the SFL's YouTube channel at youtube.com/SimulationFL for an archive of every game, every draft, every moment you may have missed since the SFL got its start back in 2013. SFL YouTube also features top 10 plays of the week, archived people behind the player segments, and all the major milestones in league history. 2nd down and 5. Fennick hands it off to Ike McBride. And Matt, I think you're right. She's tired. 3rd down and 5. No gain.
Arizona that time had the box stacked. It wasn't their typical nickel look. So that's when you got to audible out to something. You got a lot of tight ends out there. You have, 2 highly paid tight ends. Get them out there in a passing situation on a mismatch. Now this is a crucial 3rd and 5. No gun, so watch out for the pass rush.
Arizona sends 4. Pressure almost got there, but the pass is complete and good for first down up to the 46-yard line. Back to Ross McGinnis. McGinnis has had several catches in this one.
McGinnis, 5'8". He's a small-looking man. Doesn't matter your height.
6 foot, man.
Jeez. I guess when you used to seeing the Hands brothers, 6 feet looks awfully small, Mike.
Yes, when you see skyscrapers on the other side of the field, 6 foot looks miniature. Fennick in the gun.
Tight end, here we go, Mike. Uh-oh.
Has time hit as he throws, and that one is incomplete. Go figure, D.D. Sachs in the backfield providing pressure. There's a surprise.
Arizona must have covered Adam Williams well. Nobody else open, and at least Fennick was able to get the ball away and not kill the drive.
2nd down and 10. 3 receivers out to the right. Fennick to pass, steps up, throws deep down the right-hand side. And that one, he was hit as he released, Matt, and that's what kind of sent that ball sputtering away. It could have been picked off, but will fall to the turf.
That's tough. They got trips to the bottom. They don't have anybody split at the top. So Adam Williams was bumped, and everybody was bumped. So there was not a lot of options for Ace. No bump here, so maybe a little better chance for Lone Star.
Arizona faithful on their feet, making some noise for their defense. And another short pass, well short of the line to gain. And that will bring on a 4th down and another punt. Coverage of the Simulation Football League's 17th season on Next Level Sports continues Saturday, September 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, with the explosive London Knights facing Florida, followed by Matt Wilson's Mexico City Aztecs visiting the desperate rival Fort Worth. Bonus coverage includes rivalry Baltimore Carolina and 2 playoff hopefuls, Gerald Smith's Louisiana Revolution and the Los Angeles Lycans. It all comes your way next Saturday on Next Level Sports.
Yeah, speaking of the Lycans, Mike, look at that score.
Yeah, Los Angeles really putting their foot on the gas now, 30-17 out in front of the Portland Fleet. And, it looked like all Lycans at the beginning, Matt, 14-0 at one point. And then 17 unanswered. Portland's out in front and it's like, all right, here's a ball game. And then Los Angeles says, well, hang on. We need to pile on a whole bunch more points. So Portland currently in possession of the football in that one. Arizona in possession of it here in this one. Donnie Hands, haven't called his name in a little bit. He gets a gain of 8 on an out route up to the top as we tick away the final minute here of quarter number 3.
And Arizona, if they can get any more points, it's going to be so hard for Lone Star, at least what they've shown on offense.
Almost arguably completely out of reach.
Yeah, well, I mean, they showed that, deep post corner route.
And DJ Moses taking advantage of that 2 linebacker look. Gets the first down at the 34-yard line.
Down to 19.4 average.
Unbelievable. The average is under 20 at 1 point over 50.
I think Eddie Gage is still happy with 200 yards.
I don't think the average is even on their mind at all. 33 minutes in the books. 1 quarter remains here in Phoenix. The Scorpions out in front, 31-14 over the Glory. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Twitch.
What's up, everyone? I'm Doug. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug,
I'm Doug Brown, running back, Mud Dogs. That's Potty, Kicker, Dragons. That's Benny Butcher, DT, Dragons. We the Simpot, the Late Night SFL podcast. Check us out on YouTube and Twitter.
And welcome back for the start of the 4th quarter here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Mike Diggs, along with Matt Wilson in the booth, Gerald Smith with us on stats, and Cameron Irvine in the production truck. Ashley Jackson on the field at quarterback. And it looks like TJ Punk, once again, at receiver. Yes, indeed, it is.
Yep, and Arizona's doing the right thing. Just short passes. Now you're running clock. 4th quarter, up 31-14. Lone Star hasn't shown the ability in a while to get any kind of points, so just take it slow and easy. Don't throw a pick. There goes that man.
He's just adding on to his day, Matt. He wanted that player of the game real bad, I think, and I'm pretty sure it's sealed, but He's just trying to make sure at this point.
I mean, if we still had top plays of the week instead of 3 weeks, he's had 2 of those today. One still might get on top plays of the past 3 weeks.
First down and 10 at the 47-yard line. And Moses able to gain 3 on that one. We welcome those of you who just watched the Los Angeles Lycans beat the Portland Fleet 30-17 in an impressive showing. Matt, they outscored the Fleet 16-0 in the second half after falling behind 17-14 earlier on in the ball game. I'm Mike Daggs in the booth with Matt Wilson, the Hall of Famer. Gerald Smith on stats, Cameron Irvine in the truck, and Ashley Jackson going deep over the middle. And that one's incomplete. So far in this game, Matt, it's been quite a show on the ground by DJ Moses, the running back for the Arizona Scorpions. 13 carries, over 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. There was an 80-yard run and an 87-yard run to help get that 220-plus yard total. Arizona convincingly out in front, but Lone Star trying to stay in it. See what happens on this 3rd down and 7. The Glory got to get the ball back and got to get some points on the board in a hurry. 9:34 to go in the ball game. Jackson back to throw. Fires down the right side, wide open. You left TJ Punk all the way wide open. He's got it up to the 15-yard line. Out of bounds, 1st down and 10 in the red zone.
Yeah, Punk. I don't know, they lost him. I mean, he is the shortest receiver on the team, which is funny because he was a former tight end. But yeah, wide open, great throw by Jackson. And now, I don't know, if I'm Arizona, I at least try 2 runs here, get some clock. Field goal. Well, there's no running back, Mike. I was wrong.
4 receivers into tight end. They're going for the throat now. Jackson in the gun, back at the 20, looking, firing over the middle. That one is caught and good for a gain of 4. Hauled in by Will Todd, the current tight end.
Yeah,
we see a comparison of the quarterbacks so far in this one.
Jackson's kind of flipped it. She was really trailing Ace at the beginning of the game through that early pick, but kind of righted the course, steadied the ship.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. 4 receivers on the field here on 2nd down. Jackson fires towards the end zone and it's out of the back. Hitting Donnie Hands, but in the white stripe. So that one is going to be ruled incomplete. Sets up a 3rd down and 6.
Bum, 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 bum.
And Matt is providing music.
I said the white stripes.
Oh, I don't know about you. 3rd down and 6. 5 wide for the Scorpions. Jackson fires back corner of the end zone, and it is caught.
Touchdown!
Touchdown, Scorpions. James Hands using that entire 6'6" frame to add 6 points on the board. What a catch.
Ashley throwing that one up, and I thought pick. As soon as I saw this,
thought it was pick too,
look at
Matt.
this floater. Look at that. Oh, jeez. The body
My
control of hands.
goodness. What were you saying about plays of the week, Matt? That's got to be in the running too.
Yeah, that one was looked like it was going to Lone Star. That's how this game's been for Lone Star since they put 14 points up. It's been all Scorpions. Even when they've had a shot, it's just hasn't developed.
Double coverage. And James Hands is able to spin backwards and use his big mitts to pluck that one out of the sky. And
he must do yoga.
Touchdown. 38-14 here in this one. Brief recap for those of you who joined us late. The Lone Star Glory started off with a punt on their opening possession, and Arizona would get the ball and would throw it right back to them. A pick for Ashley Jackson's first play of the ball game. Lone Star would punch it in after a 14-yard drive for a touchdown. Arizona would respond in kind. They'd have a touchdown drive of their own. Lone Star back at it again. They'd have a 53-yard touchdown pass to end a 4-play, 65-yard drive to get back out in front. But that's when DJ Moses went off. 1-play, 80-yard touchdown rush. Lone Star would punt it back to him. Moses again, 1-play, 87-yard touchdown rush. My goodness. And then a 6-play, 87-yard drive, 34-yard touchdown pass Arizona just stomping their foot on the gas. Ike McBride on that carry there, gain of 3. That would bring us to halftime, and Arizona would come out of the half. They'd get the ball back to start the second half of the game. 10 plays, 49 yards. They'd get a field goal, and now, well, they just added on a 10-play, 77-yard drive with that 10-yard crazy catch by James Hands for another touchdown, 38-14 out in front and in full control of this ball game. Second down and 7. McBride takes the handoff, wrapped up, brought down, no gain, third down.
Yeah, I think this is the wrong strategy for Lone Star. Been beating the McBride drum for a while for certain looks, but now you need points. You gotta throw it. This is where Eddie's defense loves it. You have to throw it. Third and long.
Fennick.
Oh, here comes the blitz.
Coming down he goes. DD sacks Matt. Now he's got the hat trick. Make it official. 3.5 sacks now on the game, putting an end to that drive.
Just take a hat and rip it in half. Sacks around the outside, beats the lineman. Kind of a speed move around the edge. And down goes Ace, and down goes the Lone Star Glory.
Fourth down and 12. And Lone Star's punter out onto the field to kick this one back to the Scorpions. TJ Punk back to receive it. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection. State-of-the-art technology and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect track for your project, visit apmmusic.com.
Moses, that average, I'm disappointed.
His average at one point, that was pretty crazy. He had 58 yards per carry at one point in this ball game. Jackson, and that one's tipped. Tip drill incomplete. Trying to.
Let's see. Why is Arizona? They showed the average. Why is Arizona going 4 wide? I have not. They should be lining everybody off, going off tackle like those 2 long runs they had before. We haven't seen maybe once since. I'm trying to put this game away on the legs of Moses, but instead that was almost an interception. And a pick 6 wouldn't be the death of Arizona, but it would make things more interesting.
Right. Yeah, Jay Mart doing his best cornerback impersonation, the 6'2" outside linebacker. Joining the Lone Star Glory in free agency from the Jacksonville Kings. Now entering his second season, almost had a pick there. Jackson on second down, gets it out to Moses. Oh, nothing but green grass out in front. Spin past the defender, first down and more. This is what I'm talking about, Matt. It's been the DJ Moses show here in Phoenix tonight as he adds on even more yards through the air. He's got now 41 yards receiving to add on to his 220-something.
Look at the spin, spin. And then, again, that change of direction, Mike. It wasn't a juke. But did you see the way he planted his foot and changed direction? That's just, like I say, he must have some of the fastest feet in the SFL.
It certainly looks it here in this one, Matt. As Moses struts back to the line, and you've earned that strut today, Moses. Offset eye in the backfield. First down and 10 from the 40. Jackson, she's going to keep going deep, Matt. And why not when you can hit Donnie Hands all the way down to the 20-yard line?
I thought that was picked again.
Ashley Jackson quickly approaching the 300-yard mark.
Look at that. That had no business being caught. But, yeah. Donnie Hands reached out.
Over 500 yards of offense for the Scorpions and 38 points. That's how you win ball games.
And they're not. Poor Moses. He's just like, you can't get a break.
He's getting a break right now, as it happens to be. Jackson over the middle. Oh, jumping catch. They're just trying to put on a show. They're trying to entertain their home crowd here, Matt. Will Todd leaping up, making the catch, getting leveled, hanging on. First down and goal, Arizona.
Yeah, how scary have the Scorpions been ever since the second quarter, Mike? They've shown all phases that they are exceptional.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. And, it's not even just, let's see what
Uh-oh.
happens on this
Uh-oh.
one. Jackson gets it out to Moses. Moses spins past defender number 1. 3 more ready to go. Only a gain of 1. How scary have the Arizona Scorpions looked since the second quarter of this ballgame? How scary have the Arizona Scorpions looked since the second half of this season? And actually, they started picking it back up right at the end of the first half of the season, beating the Sioux Falls Sparrows, and then 2 back-to-back road games where they came out with a win. And, 5 minutes to go in this one. I think it's safe to say the win streak will live on, and 4 wins in a row. No gain on that one. Brings up a 3rd down and goal. Yeah, 222 yards of rushing.
Yeah, and that's not the kind of run I'd like to see Moses. You got the tackles. Off tackle's the way to go. But we'll see if Ashley can throw another touchdown, or maybe Lone Star can get a nice little pick in the end zone. We'll see.
5 wide on 3rd down. Jackson looking over the middle, has her target, and that one is going to fall short of the line to gain, which would be the goal line for the end zone. 4th down and goal. They're going to bring the field goal unit back out onto the field. Cliff Allen going to try to knock another one through. Reggie Rose, one of the backup wide receivers here on the Scorpions, with that catch. James Trubisky on to hold.
Can we see a Trubisky toss?
I don't think they're going to fake this one, Matt.
I would pay money to see it.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're not going to, because Trubisky's just going to take this snap and plant it down into the lawn, I believe. Going to let as much time tick away as they can. Cliff Allen up and good from 21 yards. 41-14 the score in this one. Coverage of the Simulation Football League 17th season on For the Fans continues next Sunday, September 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will have top 10 plays from season 17's 3rd quarter. I am going to go on a limb, Matt, and say that at least one of the plays from this ball game will make that top 10 list, but I guess we'll have to find out next week. The updated playoff standings and a mega matchup between Vancouver Legion and the St. Louis Gladiators will also be next week, with bonus coverage of Charleston and Queen City. It all comes your way next Sunday on For the Fans. You're not going to want to miss a moment of Week 10 action.
Yeah, Mike, the playoffs are really heating up now. We're getting to the point where races are getting tight. The favorites are starting to emerge, and don't want to miss a game, especially with these teams, these top teams playing each other at the end of the season.
Fennick gets this one out to McBride. Her momentum will carry her out of bounds. 2nd down and 9. Clock stopped with 3:34. And, Fennick's had a good game, Matt. It just, the difference has been the big plays, I would say.
But Lone Star had one early in the game, and they haven't gone back to it.
Yeah, Greg Soto with a 53-yard touchdown. Yeah. You got 2 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. Fennick out route down to the bottom, trying to connect with Greg Soto, but that one will be out of bounds. And they've looked a little out of sorts ever since some things really started to go Arizona's way. It almost seems like they've, I don't know, maybe been trying too hard to get back into it, and it's cost them.
They got pass happy at the wrong time early in the game, and they couldn't get past that 40-yard line. They couldn't kick field goals when they needed to, and it really flipped the game.
Fennick dumping this one down will set up a 4th down and 4, and
that's a perfect example right there, right? You got to throw it beyond the sticks. They haven't been able to run any plays, and I don't know why. It's not just, Eddie Gage is a great defensive mind, but there's got to be some plays in the book that go deeper than that.
Offense out on the field here on 4th down, Matt. They went 4 of 14 in this one on 3rd down conversions. Trying to convert this 4th. They will be able to do that. And, just what you just mentioned, Matt. They threw it past the sticks. That's what you got to do. Deuce Fennick with that catch. Ace Fennick going deeper this time.
There you go.
Greg Soto at the 30, 20, 10, 5 touchdown Lone Star. They're going to cut into the lead, but potentially too little too late. But, Matt, that's the looked like the exact same play that you asked, hey, where'd that one go? Well, there it is, but with 2:42 to go.
I'm pretty sure the backups are in at this point, so that makes it a little easier. But yeah, they needed to at least try that a couple more times. Sure, Ace might have had a few more picks, but you can get a couple touchdowns off that. The game could be in a totally different place right now. So
Yeah. Backup cornerback Eric Tillman in on the coverage on that one, to your point, Matt.
Those guys aren't bench guys for nothing, Mike.
They're great at holding clipboards and encouraging their starting counterparts.
And giving me Gatorade, maybe a little shot of tequila in it at halftime.
Oh, whoa, my goodness. Hugh Purvis with the extra point. Matthew, we've discussed.
So you wonder why the running game is so good in Mexico City, right? Well, Ramos doesn't want me to throw the ball too much late in the game. Well, we all know I have a tendency to throw the ball to the other team for a touchdown.
You've been known to do that once or twice or 3 times, sometimes 3 times per quarter.
That's not pretty.
He's having a bad day. All right, so Purvis on for the onside kick. Ball bounces away and right into the waiting hands of the Hands team for the Scorpions.
What if the Hands brothers are on the Hands team?
It would be just a travesty of justice if they were not. But I did not see them there. It actually looked like Joe Thomas, the backup tight end, got that one. So that'll bring the offense back out onto the field. And in at quarterback, Matt, James Trubisky.
All right, Trubisky tosses for everyone.
Alan Seaton, the running back. Seaton's able to gain 2. And I don't know if you're going to see a lot of Trubisky tosses, Matt.
Mike, it's my life would be complete. You know, I've seen Freddie Fox do some amazing things. We need a Trubisky toss. Even if it hits the ground, I just want to see it.
Just want to
It's
see it fly.
It's like a rare unicorn, you know. You got to see it once.
It's not a lot of opportunities to see those here in the SFL. And, well, you'd have your opportunity if it was not for the fact that it's going to be another handoff to Alan Seaton. But first, a 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes to go in this one as we wrap things up here in Phoenix. Arizona Scorpions 41, Lone Star 21. Lone Star in possession, Arizona in possession of the football. Just trying to run out the clock now. And run they will, much to the dismay of Matt Wilson.
Well, there's always 3rd down and long if it goes that way.
That's true. Well, let's see what happens here on 2nd down and 8. Trubisky hands this one off. And Alan Seaton all the way down to the 21. Great blocking on the right-hand side, and Lone Star will burn their first time out.
Alas, Mike, I think my dreams of Trubisky are over.
I think they might be, Matt.
I mean, I think they'd rather take a knee than have Trubisky throw the ball now.
Well, dreams can come true. You never know.
Come on, Eddie. Give me a scoop.
It's not no scoops for you, it would seem, as looks like Trubisky is back out in a running formation. Seaton takes the handoff and gets absolutely leveled, pays the price.
You can say he got Seaton down, huh, Mike?
He did get Seaton down by Mickey McGuire. Arizona with a 2nd down and 10. Lone Star burning their 2nd timeout, 1 remaining. And coming out back with a 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end look.
Come on, Trubisky, top of the screen, buddy. Take your shot.
Seaton takes the handoff and gets brought right back down at the 20-yard line. Final timeout now from Lone Star. So, Matt, now things get interesting. 3rd down and 10. Will you get your wish?
No.
Will James Trubisky throw the ball, or you don't think so?
No timeouts to go. They might even kneel it. I don't even know, but
that's 3 wide receivers.
3 wide receivers, Mike. There's a glimmer of hope.
Glimmer of hope indeed. Trubisky under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Seaton. Seaton spins, trying to do everything he's learned from DJ Moses, but it'll bring up a 4th down. The clock will tick down, and Cliff Allen will come back out onto the field for his third field goal try. He made one from 35. I believe the other was from about 25 or so. It was a little bit closer. This one,
And I mean, so how dangerous does this Arizona team look, Mike? We're looking at future games in the playoffs, right? Lone Star at 4-4, not a pushover by any means, coming in on a winning streak, and Arizona pretty much, smoked them in the second half.
Yeah. It's this whole game. It started out looking like Lone Star was, really going to be in this one, but it's really been, all Arizona after that.
Yeah,
and convincing win.
What do? You try to stop the pass. That you got Moses for 200. Try to stop the run. You got the Hands brothers. Catching everything in sight over corners, double teamed.
Yeah.
And the defense is always strong. It's an Eddie Gage defense. Ruined my playoffs last season. So I don't know.
And you talk about strength of schedule, strength of victory. When you mentioned statistics like that, Matt, the strength of victory for the Arizona Scorpions is top 5 in the league. They have won against some of the best teams in the league. They're going to win against a 4-4 team here, but last week they beat the 5-3 Vancouver Legion. The week before that, they beat the 5-3 Los Angeles Lycans, now 6-3 Los Angeles Lycans. And let's see, they also had a win against Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls was 1-7. Fort Worth, they beat, they're 5-3. But the Florida Storm to open up the season. Florida Storm currently sits at 6-2. So they've beat a 6-win team, a 5-win team, a 5-win team, and a 4-win team. And they're on a 4-game winning streak. So Arizona, could they go all the way? I don't see any reason that they couldn't.
They got to be in the upper echelon of the league for sure. And it's going to be interesting once the playoffs gets hashed out. You got Baltimore undefeated, but they can't take their foot off the gas because there's a lot of contenders that are coming for them in the playoffs, no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lone Star will get things wrapped up for us here in this one as they have one final drive now playing for Pride. At this point, Adam Williams getting a catch over the middle as they hurry back to the line. No timeouts remain. Empty backfield set for the Glory. They will spike the ball, stopping the clock with 41 seconds to go in this one. So next up for the Lone Star Glory, Matt, they're back at home. They will host the Houston Hyenas. And the Arizona Scorpions next week, they are on the road. They're back at Sioux Falls. So, and I just mentioned that Sioux Falls, they were coming into the week, they were 1-7 and just beat them. They beat the Sparrows 34-13. So,
this one could be worse.
Yeah, you can never lock in a win, and say, well, they'll win next week too. Obviously, every game, needs to be played one game at a time. But very real possibility that after next week we could be talking about the 7-3 Arizona Scorpions.
There's an unfortunate drop. That's kind of been Lone Star's day.
Yeah, Ross McGinnis, the intended target. He's had quite a few targets in this one, quite a few catches. Drops that one there. 38 seconds to go. 3rd down and 10 for the Glory. Fennick in the gun. Fennick short of the line to gain, and Williams bringing that one back a little bit. Tried to turn up field to hurry back up to the line on 4th down. And Fennick trying to keep this drive going.
Just chuck it to the sky, Fennick. You got nothing to lose.
And Fennick does indeed get the completion. Fennick to Fennick connection.
Liking it. Setting up the Hail Mary, I guess.
I guess so, and they spiked the ball. Man, I almost thought they were setting up the kneel down formation, but that would have been entirely awkward. So
I will say these two teams have two of my favorite colored helmets in all of football. Red and orange.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Sharp looking uniforms from both squads. Hail Mary formation set up. Fennick in the gun. Fires quickly, and that one is complete.
What?
Matt doesn't like it. That was the quickest Hail Mary pass I've ever seen. Final score in this one, Arizona 44, Lone Star Glory 21. Matt, the final stats from the game on the screen. Your final thoughts?
I mean, it looks close on paper. Lone Star had some that last drive against backups, but I mean, I think DJ Moses was the spark, the guy that really kind of got Arizona going, got those 2 quick scores, and then they just never looked back.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. It was a great second half by the Arizona Scorpions. They just continued to pile on points, Matt. They started the second half with a 10-play, 49-yard field goal drive, and followed that one up with a 10-play, 77-yard drive with a 10-yard passing touchdown. Back to scoring they would go. 8 plays, 53 yards, another field goal. Lone Star finally getting some points on the board in garbage time against the backups. A 63-yard touchdown pass to Greg Soto, and they'd finish that up with another Cliff Allen field goal. There's the Soto touchdown pass. Coming up next, Queen City will visit the DC Dragons on the For the Fans Twitch page. Tim Hackett, Mark Lopez will be on that call. And Matt, I've got to catch a ultra-fast supersonic flight at 7:20 p.m. Not too long from now. The Atlanta Swarm will visit the Louisiana Revolution, and I'll be calling that game with Wade Phillips. And Gerald, you need to hop on the supersonic jet too. We got to get you, back in town for your game.
He can't hear it, Mike.
Oh, he can hear me, man. He always can hear me.
I bet it's Moses.
Player of the game, DJ Moses. Surprise, surprise. 14 rushes, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 43 yards receiving as well. What a finish for the Arizona Scorpions. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League on Twitch. Final score, 44-21, Arizona. For Matt Wilson, Gerald Smith, and Cameron Irvine, I am Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us, and good night, everybody.